Welcome back. Right, sorry I didn't do a video over the weekend. Grandson come round, other visitors, just didn't get the time to do it. But I'm going to do it today. Hope you're all doing well. Right, today I'm going to be doing a vinyl play of Prince's 7th studio album, the beautiful Around the World in a Day. Now, to be honest with you, you know I unwrapped it when I got me 6,000 subscribers, but I actually haven't played it yet. So it is still unplayed. You just got to trust me on that. But I love this album. I remember when it came out, 1985. Obviously, this came out so soon after Purple Rain. People hadn't even absorbed Purple Rain fully yet. And then this came out, and it sort of like came out under the radar. But because of When Doves Cry and Purple Rain, the album, the film, etc., the phenomenon, I was hooked. I mean, like I said, I'd heard 1999 before, and Little Red Corvette, and loved them. But When Doves Cry blew me away. But anyway, now this isn't Purple Rain Part 2. I know it's been quoted by a lot of people, but it literally is nothing like Purple Rain. I mean, there are moments where you can hear, you know, the beautiful ones, and maybe Condition of the Heart, you know, that subtle, gentle, beautiful. But there's no real comparison. They're just like completely two different ends of the spectrum, which, you know, proves Prince's versatility, which we all know he was just amazing. Apparently at this time, his creativeness was just going off the chart. But my period for Prince, really, I mean, I'll go back. I mean, I've got the first 4 albums prior to 1999, you know, not on vinyl. But from 1999, I would say right up to 1990, Graffiti Bridge, even Batman, I like that as well, right? But, you know, Love Sexy, Sign of the Times, Parade, Purple Rain, this. It was just glorious. He was just pumping out. And apparently he was putting out so much. Warner Brothers was like, slow down. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Right, let's get to it. I'll show you the vinyl and the record. So you've got this lovely gatefold sleeve with this little fold on the corner, and that's where the actual, I don't think you can see it, that's where the actual, it's not written on this side, but it opens up to this beautiful picture. And obviously on the inside you've got all the lyrics to all the songs. So I'll give you a quick look at the record, even though, like I said, I've shown you this. Right, here's the, it's got a little bit of a tear in there. It's vinyl, but I hate it when it does that. So here's your label in the middle there. Warner Brothers with the famous Paisley design all over it, and there it is. Look at that. Beautiful. I remember buying this when it came out. I remember it so well. And I fell in love with it. I mean, to be honest with you, this is probably in my top 3 Prince albums. And bear in mind, you've got obviously Purple Rain, but you've got Sign of the Times. I love Parade as well. That era, he just couldn't do nothing wrong as far as I'm concerned. And it was 1990, I actually went to go and see Prince. Only chance I ever went to see him. Only time, should I say, not only chance. Some of the songs on here date back to pre-1999. I know, back to 1982. And all the songs were pretty much done and finished before the Purple Rain tour started. I know, unbelievable, isn't it? On the press release to the Purple Rain tour, there was lyrics to Around the World in a Day. You know, that open up your heart, open your mind. Anyway, I'm waffling and waffling and waffling. I'm never going to get the record played. Right, so before I get it on the Riga, what does Wikipedia know about Prince's Around the World in a Day? Around the World in a Day is the 7th studio album by Prince, and the 3rd to feature his backing band, The Revolution. It was released on April 22nd, 1985 by Paisley Park Records and Warner Brothers Records. Departing somewhat from the commercial sound of his previous release, the massively successful Purple Rain in 1984, the album instead saw Prince experimenting with psychedelic styles and more opulent textures. In compliance with Prince's wishes, the record company released the album with minimal publicity, withholding accompanying singles until almost a month after the album's release. Around the World in a Day was released to notably mixed reception after the success of Purple Rain, though it nonetheless sold relatively well and became Prince and the Revolution's second #1 album on the Billboard 200. 2 of its 4 singles reached the top 10 in the Billboard Hot 100, Raspberry Beret and Pop Life. Following Prince's death, Raspberry Beret recharted on the Billboard Hot 100 as a top 40 hit, reaching number 33. Around the World in a Day was certified double platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America on July 2nd, 1985. The album pursued a dense psychedelic style that made the use of unconventional instruments and cryptic lyrics. Its sound and album cover drew numerous comparisons to the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Prince spoke in an interview about the album's cover art and its psychedelic sound, and the comparison. The influence wasn't the Beatles. They were great for what they did, but I don't know how that would hang today. The cover for the album was painted by American artist Jim Warren. In a positive retrospective review, Pitchfork described the album as a brave and deeply personal project, exploring sounds and ideas that were almost shocking, coming from a pop icon at his peak. Okay, let's get it on the turntable. That sounds amazing. What a great album. I haven't listened to that album for a long time. I should listen to it more. It's wonderful. Back in the day, I played it over and over and over. But then again, we had a lot less distractions back then. Right, I'm going to do these slightly different. I'm going to talk a little bit about each track. But before I start, I'm going to play you a little segment just to give you an idea of the song I'm talking about. Let's pray that YouTube are alright with that. Track 1. Around the World in a Day. What a great opening to this album. Really does set the tone. It starts off with some sort of like Middle Eastern flute sounding thing, and then all of a sudden the old bongos come in, and it builds and builds and builds right up to us. It feels like a celebration. He sings really happy when he's singing this as well. I love the lyrics. Open up your heart, open your mind. The train is leaving all day. A wonderful trip through our time. And laughter is all you pay. Around the World in a Day. Bloody marvellous lyrics. Now, they were written by David Coleman. The Revolution band, Lisa and Wendy, the two, Lisa and Wendy, the two girls. David Coleman was Lisa's brother, and apparently he'd done this bit of a demo, and the Revolution said to Prince, you need to listen to this, and he went out and listened to it in a car, and he literally took the tape out and was like, do you think you'll let me have this? Obviously it's credited to David Coleman, also John L. Nelson, Prince's father, and Prince, and basically Prince built the whole song around this. The whole album, basically, it's the premise for the whole album. That sort of like happiness theme. It's kind of like heaven. I don't know. Great opening track. Sounded fantastic. Really, like I said, trippy, happy. Really sets the tone. Track 2. Paisley Park. I love this. I remember it coming out as a single. It was the first single from the album back in May of 1985. It is a lovely, trippy sort of mid-tempo rocker and some of the best electric guitar. People don't really take a lot of notice because it's sort of hidden within the music. I mean, most guitarists put on a track like that, they'd want it right prominent. not Prince. It's all about the music, all about the music. But honestly, listen to Paisley Park and just try and listen for that electric guitar. It'll blow your mind. It's all over the show. That guy could really, really play that. And Paisley Park has a similar sentiment to Around the World in a Day, you know. The girl on the seesaw is laughing, for love is the colour this place imparts. Admission is easy, just say you believe and come to this place in your heart. Paisley Park is in your heart. I do think Prince means heaven. I'm not sure, but I do think Prince means heaven on this track. But it's a great one and some beautiful screams. You know, he screams. He's not like Michael Jackson, but, you know, he does do his own... And he's all over the place. Vocally and musically, this is a solid track. I absolutely love Paisley Park. Track 3, The Beautiful Condition of the Heart.
Good for a condition of the heart.
This is such a gentle, fragile, beautiful song. It's heartbreaking. He literally does sound like he's absolutely heartbroken. And Prince did this apparently all by himself on the 9th and 10th of October 1984 at Sunset Studios. And if you listen to it, the harmonies and everything, it's just amazing. But it is absolutely a beautiful ballad that will bring tears to your eyes. And his vocal range on this is up, down, all over the place. It takes about 2 minutes to get into the song. It's very... I can see Parade being the follow-up album to this, put it that way, with certain tracks from Parade. He was experimenting and I could feel it going that way. But an absolutely beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful. Track 4 needs no introduction. Raspberry Beret.
A raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second-hand store.
It's a Prince anthem, let's be honest. It's up there in the top 10, isn't it, really? Lovely song, a little dreamy number, sounded wonderful on vinyl. It's hard to believe that Raspberry Beret was recorded on April 27th, 1982. But he kind of left it for a while, and then on September 7th, 1984, he went in the studio, and a week later they added the strings, and there you go. It's got a real happy feel about this song, and it even projects on the music video where Prince is wearing the cloud suit, and he said himself he had a haircut like Lou Ferrigno from the Hulk. That always made me laugh when I heard Wendy talk about it. He reckons his hair looked like Lou Ferrigno from the Hulk. Did make me laugh, but what a great song. It's about the coming of age, I think, losing your virginity and having that first time. Like I said, there's sexual references in the song, you know, Old Man Johnson's farm and all that lot. And I have heard the Raspberry Beret is on a woman. I'm not even going to go into that. Have a little look yourself, but it's a wonderful song. And side 1 closes with Tambourine, track 5.
Close my eyes, what's it like? What's it like inside the tambourine?
This is rude, but not explicit. But it is about masturbation. I feel weird saying that on here, but yeah, I think that's what it is. Tambourine is a metaphor for masturbation. I do think, anyway. But what a funky number. The bass on this sounded incredible in there, and the bass player on this was just rocking. That and the drummer together, you can't sit still. And it sounded like Prince was having a ball doing this. He really sounds like he's in a good place. And some of the screams, tip top. Lonely, lonely nights. Great song. So we flip over, and side 2 starts off with America. At the beginning, it's got like 4 false starts. It sounds like it starts, stops, starts, and then this beat comes in. Boom, boom, ch, boom, ch. And it's a driving beat, proper comes in. It's a great song. Lyrically good. But it does sound quite patriotic in places. America, you know. When Prince was asked how America should be viewed, he replied, straightforwardly patriotic. Engineer Susan Rogers concurred. According to her, Prince's political views were rather conservative, and he was a firm believer in America and the American dream. And juxtaposed to that, you got lyrics like Little Sister on a minimum wage and Jimmy Nothing never went to school. You know, the sadder side of it all. So it's quite juxtaposed. Bloody great opening song, side 2. And that beat and the guitar. Terrific. Track 2. Pop Life.
What's the matter with your life? Is it poverty bringing you down?
This song is marvellous. It was another single from Around the World in a Day. I have heard it's about Morris Day. Morris Day was the singer in the time. You see him in Purple Rain. And Vanity, who I only just found out died. I didn't even know that. I used to have a bit of a crush on her years ago. Vanity was lovely, wasn't she? Yeah, a little bit about that. Lyrically, so well put together. What's the matter with your life? Is poverty bringing you down? Is the mailman jerking you around? Did he put your $1 million check in someone else's box? He was writing some good stuff. He's so bloody creative, Prince. It's got such a great feel to it. It's got a happy feel about it. It's one of them you could happily drive along in the radio, listen to Pop Life. Great song. Track 3, The Ladder.
Once upon a time in the land of sin and plenty.
Everybody's looking for the ladder. Everybody's looking for salvation. Oh, this is a beautiful song. It's got a similar beat to Purple Rain, really. I'm sure you could mix the two together. This is gorgeous, and he sings it with such conviction. Everyone's trying to find their own salvation, their ladder to ascend higher, I guess. I was going to swear then. Beautiful. And last but by no means least, track 4, Temptation.
Everybody on this earth has got a vice.
This is a raunchy number. It starts off really weird with some really raunchy guitars. Obviously, it's Prince's Temptation is obviously sex. It did remind me a little bit of the Sign of the Times when it was first come on. You know, sex, temptation. Had hints of Sign of the Times, to me anyway. But this is amazing. Some of the screams in it and some of the noises he makes are crazy. But like I said, it's a proper raunchy number. And I think he eventually speaks to God in it. It's a great close. It rocks. It rocks. It's easily the longest track on here, at 8 minutes and 18 seconds. But you get lost in it. I love the last bit where he's talking to God saying, I have been good. And he's going, no, little man, you ain't. Because you're a little bit weak. You're tempted. And we know Prince was. Although I do think in his later years, he became really spiritual. I think he was always spiritual. But temptations. But this is another highlight. It's a great crescendo to a fantastic album. Really glad to have finally played Around the World in a Day. And I do need to play it a little bit more, certainly when I'm out and about in the car, because they're so, you know, the Raspberry Beret, the Pop Life, America, they're great songs. And yet you got, like I said, the Condition of the Heart and the Ladder. It's a really... This one apparently was for the fans, and that's why Prince didn't put it out there. He released it, like I said, under the radar of Purple Rain, and he was like, they'll find it. They'll find it. I was quite fortunate, because I was so mad about Purple Rain when I heard When Doves Cry. I bought this when it came out, and back then, as we do, play them over and over and over, so you get to learn them. But it did sound really nice on the remaster, I've got to say. I think it's the 2016 remaster, but I'm not sure. I should have checked that really before doing this video, shouldn't I? According to Prince also, George Clinton, you know George Clinton, he was a fan of this album. So yeah, really glad to have it in the collection. What will be my next Prince album? Batman? Maybe. I've got Sign of the Times, Parade, Purple Rain and this so far. I might step back and get 1999. We'll see how it goes. I've got a lot of records to collect. But anyway, I've got to try and make this short, guys. So, if you like this sort of thing, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, the usual cabba that you got to do. Really loved Around the World in a Day, comes highly recommended. If you haven't played it, treat yourselves. It's worth it. It'll cheer you up. Did me. Right, guys, much love. Have a great week, and I'll be back with another ramble real soon. Take care.